Did you know that many beliefs about our dogs are simply not true? Like the idea that dogs only lick us out of affection, or that showing dominance is the best way to train them, and even the belief that a wagging tail always means happiness. It's time to uncover the truth behind these widespread dog myths. And here is one of the biggest misconceptions about dogs. Dogs feel guilty for bad behavior. Dogs are incredibly adept at reading our emotions and reactions. When they display what we interpret as a guilty look, those puppy dog eyes and the tucked tail, they're actually responding to our behavior, not their own. If you're upset, angry, or even just have a change in tone, they pick up on it and react in a submissive way. The truth is, dogs don't experience guilt in the same way humans do. They don't sit and reflect on their past actions and decide to feel remorse. Instead, their reaction is more about the present, sensing our mood and responding in a way that might appease us. Moving on to a myth that can fundamentally affect how you interact with your furry friend. You should assert dominance over your dog to train them. For a long time, many believed that to effectively train your dog, you needed to establish dominance and be the alpha. However, this approach is not just outdated, it can actually be harmful. Modern dog training is built on the principles of positive reinforcement rather than dominance. This means rewarding good behavior instead of using fear or intimidation to control a dog. The dominance theory was based on a misunderstood interpretation of wolf pack dynamics, and it's been debunked by recent studies. When you use positive reinforcement like treats, praise, or play, you create a trusting and loving relationship. Your dog learns that following commands and good behavior leads to enjoyable rewards. This method is not only kinder, but also more effective in the long run. It builds a bond based on mutual respect and understanding, rather than fear. And here's another myth that can be harmful for dogs' reputation. Dogs who growl are bad dogs. Growling isn't a sign that your dog is mean or aggressive. It's actually a form of communication. When a dog growls, they're trying to tell us something important. It could be that they're uncomfortable, scared, or feeling threatened. Ignoring or punishing a growl can be counterproductive. If a dog learns that growling leads to negative consequences, they might skip the growl and go straight to a more direct form of communication, like snapping or biting, especially if they feel threatened. Speaking of threatened, this next myth can actually be dangerous for our canine companions. Feeding dogs bones is natural and healthy. While it's true that dogs are carnivores and, in the wild, would gnaw on bones, not all bones are safe for our domesticated friends. The reality is that certain types of bones, particularly cooked bones from chicken or turkey, can be very hazardous. Cooking changes the structure of the bone, making it more brittle and prone to splintering. These splinters can cause all sorts of problems, like choking, or they can puncture your dog's digestive tract. Of course, dogs love to chew, and it's a natural behavior for them. There are plenty of dog-friendly chew toys and treats that can satisfy their need to gnaw without the risks that bones carry. Here's a quirky one. A dog's mouth is a healing agent. Contrary to popular opinion, a dog's mouth is not a magical healer. In fact, just like humans, dogs have a lot of bacteria in their mouths. While some of these bacteria are harmless, others can be quite harmful if they end up in the wrong place. Letting a dog lick a wound, for instance, can actually increase the risk of infection rather than help heal it. Dog saliva doesn't have any special antiseptic properties. If your dog has a habit of licking their wounds or yours, it's more about their instinct to clean it than any medicinal ability in their saliva. This next one is all about tail wagging. Dogs only wag their tails when they're happy. Yes, dogs do wag their tails when they're happy or excited. But they also wag their tails when they're feeling nervous, anxious, or even aggressive. The key to understanding what your dog is feeling is to look at how they're wagging their tail. A relaxed, side-to-side wag usually means they're happy. But if their tail is stiff and wagging rapidly, it's a sign of agitation or alertness. And if their tail is low and wagging slowly, it could actually indicate insecurity or a submissive mood. And here's a myth that not only misguides, but can actually set back your house training efforts. rubbing a dog's nose in their accident will house train them. When a dog has an accident in the house, it's important to remember that it's just that, an accident. They aren't doing it out of spite or misbehavior. Rubbing their nose in it doesn't teach them not to do it again. In fact, it can do the opposite. This method can make them fearful and anxious, leading to more accidents. Dogs live in the moment. When you punish them for something they did even just a few minutes ago, they don't make the connection between the act and the punishment. Instead, they associate the punishment with you. This misunderstanding can harm their trust in you. A better approach is to focus on positive reinforcement. When they go to the bathroom outside, give them lots of praise and maybe a treat. And when accidents happen indoors, clean it up without making a fuss. Over time, they'll learn that going outside is a good thing, and the accidents will become fewer and far between. And here's a shocking revelation about our furry companions: the real reason dogs lick humans. Most of us think that when a dog licks us, it's purely a sign of affection. While affection certainly plays a big role in this behavior, there's another interesting factor at play: our salty sweat. Dogs are naturally attracted to the salt on our skin. Humans sweat, and this sweat is slightly salty. For dogs, this taste of salt is intriguing and appealing. So, part of the reason they might lick you is that they're drawn to the salty flavor of your skin. But of course, that's not the whole story. Licking is also a deeply ingrained behavior in dogs. It starts from birth when their mothers lick them to clean them and stimulate their bodily functions. As they grow older, dogs continue to associate licking with care and affection. Speaking of doggy kisses, here's another myth: dogs' mouths are cleaner than humans. Both dogs and humans have a lot of bacteria in their mouths. While the types of bacteria can differ, it doesn't mean one is necessarily cleaner than the other. In fact, some of the bacteria in a dog's mouth can be harmful to humans and vice versa. So, it's important to maintain good dental hygiene for your dog. Regular brushing of your dog's teeth and veterinary checkups can help keep their mouth healthy. Now, let's debunk a myth as old as time. Dogs hate cats by nature. Sure, dogs and cats have different communication styles and body languages, which can sometimes lead to misunderstandings. Dogs are often more direct and exuberant, while cats are usually more reserved and subtle in their interactions. But these differences don't mean they're destined to be foes. In fact, dogs and cats can and often do live together harmoniously. Many households will tell you stories of their dog and cat cuddling up together or playing. The key to a peaceful coexistence is proper introduction and socialization. Dogs and cats can learn to understand each other's signals and cohabit peacefully. It also depends on the individual personalities of the dog and cat. Some dogs are more cat-friendly, and some cats are more dog-tolerant. With patience and the right environment, dogs and cats can form deep bonds, debunking the myth that they're natural enemies. Did you ever wonder why dogs do some pretty weird things? While they may seem strange to us humans, there are actually very specific reasons why dogs do what they do. So check out this video where we take a look at 9 baffling dog behaviors and the reasons behind them. And be sure to subscribe to our channel and join our doggy-loving community.